Okay, so we are live on YouTube as well. So I am going to share the link also in our classroom there. All right, we are live on YouTube, and let me record the session as well. Awesome. Wow, it's a very exciting day. We have been together for the last 6 days and we have gone through this journey. And today we get to see each other for the first time. So I'm going to ask something from each and every one of us. Okay. Please allow me to ask this. Okay, so we are live on YouTube as well. So I am going to share the link also. I'm just going to put our classroom there. All right, we are live on YouTube, and let me record the session as well. So I just need to mute the YouTube side. Right. Awesome. All right, so I'm going to ask something of all of us. I'm going to ask that we please, just even if it's just for half a minute, or even 20 seconds or 10 seconds, put your videos on and say hello to your classmates. Can you just put our videos on to say hello to everybody? Hello, everybody. Hi, Mom, Sis Evelyn, I see you. Welcome. Sis Dolly, I see you. Welcome. But a bit dark by your side, Sis Dolly. I can't see you clearly. Then I can see, it's so dark. I can see your teeth. I can see your teeth, definitely. Vuselelo, I see you're in, but I can't see your picture. Do you want to show us your video? Just a little, just to say hi to everyone. Okay. Clive, all the way from Poland. Are you in a position to show us a video and say hi to you? I can see you now, Mvuselelo. Welcome. Thank you so much for honoring us and putting your video on. Who else? Ramabele is struggling with the audio.
Hello.
Clive. Welcome,
Hi.
Clive, all the way, gracing us all the way from Poland. Hey, you look Polish these days.
It's the weather and the water.
Good to see you. Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Ramabele, I think is struggling with audio. Let me just type. It says you're connecting with your audio, but it's not. Okay, Neo. Okay. Neo, hopefully you will come right. Let me know if it doesn't come right. There's a mic on the bottom. Oh, now Neo is with us. Okay. Neo, do you want to show us your pic there? Your video. To say hi to everyone. Just a hi. And Mpo's coming on as well. All right, so welcome everybody. Let's see who's also on the YouTube side. Diaho just joined us. Welcome, Diaho. We are just saying hello. We haven't seen each other. We don't know each other, so we want to see you. Just a quick video just to greet and say hi to everybody, to your classmates. Let me see if you've got anybody on YouTube yet. There's 2 watching. Can you just say hello there on YouTube? You can just type in the comments and then we can see you there as well. And we welcome you. All right. Okay, Max, welcome. Oh, there's Neo. Neo, welcome. Now we see you. Good to see you. Neo is our baby. Neo is still, you said you're still in high school, eh? Or is it varsity? High school, varsity? You're muted. Neo, you're muted.
Oh, hi everyone.
Hello.
Yes, I'm a student. I'm a second year student.
Hey, second year.
TT.
No, it's breaking there. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining in. I appreciate you. I appreciate your time. Let's get on with it. So today is super special. I have put together, Diaho, I see you. Welcome. Welcome. Thank you for having your video on. All right, so what I'm going to do today, I've just put together some slides just to take us through what we have done this week and then close off the training. I know I always feel like I want this thing to go on and on and on, but it's only 7 days, hey? But we can still stay connected afterwards. Oh, it's so nice to see you guys. I'm so happy. Okay, I'm going to share the slides. I'm going to share the sound, share the slides, and there we go. So we are on day 7 of Learn the Basics of Cryptocurrencies in 7 days. So this training was really the absolute basics, just to introduce you to cryptocurrencies so that you can start making informed decisions.
decisions when it comes to the space. From here on, you can move on and start doing things in this space, but you know what questions to ask. You're going to avoid scams because you've got the knowledge. So when somebody approaches you with anything, you are going to ask certain questions just to reassure yourself that you are indeed coming into the right space. Tieho, I see your hand is up. Do you want to ask something or should I lower your hand? You're muted. We can't hear you. Or is it my?
No, can you please lower it?
Okay, all right. Oh, you're trying out new things, ne? You're trying out new things.
Yes.
And then you put your hand up. No, that's how we learn. Okay, so I'm just going to briefly go through the summary of what we covered and just recap, and then so that it becomes solid in your head, in your mind. And by the way, if you've got any questions as I'm going along, do what Tieho did and raise your hand, okay? And then I'll ask I'll allow you to ask the questions. Alternatively, you can put your question in the chat. All right, so I need to also just look out for the guys on YouTube. I'm sorry, unfortunately, when I go to YouTube, just hold on, guys. When I go to YouTube, I have not managed to master the art of muting the YouTube video when it's live. Let me just, I'll just lower the volume. Okay, so we've got Andrew watching on YouTube, and we've got Joyce watching on YouTube. Welcome, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Right, so let's go on. So what we have done in the last 7 days is cover the basics, and I'm going to summarize it for you guys. We started with talking about the evolution of money, the story of money, where money comes from. And I've always emphasized that the reason we do that is that people struggle with understanding cryptocurrency because they struggle with understanding that this is just money. It is just money because people associate it with making money. They don't see it as money. People associate it with scams. They don't see it as money. But it is really part of the natural evolution of money, where money comes from. Money, sorry, my YouTube is disturbing me. I don't know how to mute it. Okay, it's down now. Okay, so money, there's always been a need for us to exchange. And one of the biggest functions of money, the main functions of money, is a medium of exchange, which means it allows us to trade things. So you find that Tieho has got something, and Evelyn has something else, and Tieho needs what Evelyn has, and Evelyn needs what Tieho has. That's how mine started. Okay, there's always been, you can't have everything. So there's always been a need to get something that you don't want. And so it meant that there had to be some exchanging happening. So in early civilization, this exchange used to happen with what is called the barter system. People had to be in close proximity with each other to facilitate this change. So let's give you an example. We've got Evelyn, we've got Tieho. Okay, Evelyn is here. She's a farmer. She's got cows. Okay, she's rich, very rich with a lot of cows. And then we've got Tieho, who's also rich in his own way, and he's farming maize, right? So now Tieho is thinking, hey, now I'm done. I've been eating bab el kedah. Can I change a bit and spice up my diet? And Evelyn says, it's been protein all the way. I need some bab. Then the two get together and they start talking. Then Tieho says, oh, Evelyn, please, can I have a cow? I need some beef. And Evelyn says, Tieho, you came at the right time, just when I was thinking that I need maize. The two get together, they discuss, they negotiate. Then the negotiation is based on how much maize should I give you for one cow? The two agree. Whatever they agree on, it is between the two of them. There's no third party, there's no middleman, there's no intermediary. There is nobody else facilitating the exchange except the two parties, but they have to be in close proximity. They have to be close to each other. And this system worked beautifully until Neo comes along. And Neo decides that she's going to be a shoemaker, all right? So now Neo goes to Tieho and says, hey, Tieho, I need some maize. And Tieho says, no, right time. I just needed, shoes. Because, hey, winter is killing me. I'm getting cracked heels. Monam Kenke is doing its thing. I need the shoes. So the two, again, get into a negotiation. They discuss, and the trade happens. So maybe they agree that Tieho says, I'm going to give you 50 kgs of maize, give me a pair of shoes, the two agree, and the trade happens. But this, do you say that this trade had to happen when there is what we call a coincidence of wants? A coincidence of wants, which means that there must be, the trade will only happen if Neo needs something at the time that Tieho needs something. Then that trade happens. But what happens? Neo got her maize, Tieho got his shoes. Now it is 2 weeks later. Neo went crazy with the maize, had pap, mutoho, everything, just finished up this maize. Now, Neo goes back to Tieho 2 weeks later. Tieho, can I have some maize? Tieho says, Neo, nah, I'm good. The shoes are still good. They may even for a year or two. What are you going to give me? What do you have to give me? Now, the barter system did not work, and now the system had to change. It had to evolve because Neo can't go hungry now purely because Tieho doesn't need shoes. So there had to be something that is done. And the community agreed at that point that let's find something that is rare, that is unique, that is valuable, that we can all value as a community, is not easily found, and declare that thing as a currency. Which means that Neo can take that thing to Tieho, and Tieho will accept it because it is valuable. When Tieho has got this thing, Tieho can even take that same thing and take it to Evelyn and say, Evelyn, here is this particular thing that we've agreed on. Can I have a cow? And she would accept it because the community has accepted this thing as currency. So, for example, we've got in East Africa, they use cowrie shells. So in this case, Neo would go to Tieho and say, Tieho, can I have maize? Tieho says, I don't need shoes. And says, oh, I've got cowrie shells. So Tieho says, oh, okay, give me 20 for the same amount of maize. And then the exchange happens. That's when we started seeing tokens being introduced into this exchange, this trading, right? So when that happens now, what we're seeing is that, anything that a community agrees on can be a currency. My son was in boarding school. When he was in boarding school, chicken was currency because they hardly got chicken at school. So the day they got chicken, you could get people to do things for you. I hear that in prison, I hear that in prison, what is currency there? Who has also heard? Who has also heard? What do they use as currency? Tieho is laughing. What Tieho? What do you want to say?
Well, it's usually cigarettes and marijuana.
I was going to say cigarette, and there's more. So Tieho knows about the marijuana as well. So, so it's currency in that because it is scarce, it is rare. But the community in that situation agreed that they recognize it as currency. Now, if somebody got out of prison and came out with a stash of cigarettes, can they still use that as currency? Now they have been reconnected and put back into the community. Can they still use cigarettes as currency? When they get out of that situation, it does not work as currency anymore. The same way, what happened was, for example, in East Africa, they had cowrie shells as currency. The community agreed that that works for them. Now the Indians come from outside, they come to want to trade with them. And when they want to trade with us Africans, we say to them, we'll give you cowrie shells. And they say, no, what is that? When I go back home, these things, we've got them everywhere. They're not gonna make anybody. We need something more valuable. Now money had to change as evolution. It's always changing to accommodate that time, to make sure that the trade still happens. So it was always optimizing the way trade happens. We saw the introduction of gold coins, introduction of gold bars, commodity-based money, silver coins. Now that also changed over time because now it was not working anymore. Transportability became an issue. Now imagine if you are wealthy, can you afford to be carrying now bulk and bulks of gold coins, of gold bars? You are a target now. You will be a target for robbery. So what happens? So now Max is a rich man. He's got all this gold and and then the bank says, bring that gold to us. Bring it to us, Max, and we are going to give you a piece of paper that says, you have given us so much gold. and they guarantee that whoever you give this paper to, when they bring it to us as a bank, we are going to give them the equivalence in the number of gold coins. That is how paper money was introduced. And that was introduced in China. And guess what? When that money was introduced, there was resistance. There is always resistance to change. That's why you are hearing so many stories about Bitcoin. There's always resistance to change. So now the Americans say, nope, this system of yours ain't gonna work. But today, do you know of any country that does not have paper money, doesn't have banknotes? None. But when it started, there was resistance. So what happened was in the 70s, so money was always backed by gold. But in the 70s, gold was dropped as a standard, which means our money is backed by nothing except the market sentiment about our politics and our economics, about the way we run the country. Our money is backed by nothing. It is called fiat currency. That's government-owned money. Every single government has got their own currency. We've got the rand, Botswana have got the pula, Swaziland they've got emalangeni, Zambia they've got the kwacha, Namibia they've got the Namibian dollar. What do they have in Poland, Clive? What's your currency there? Clive marked the register and disappeared. Okay. So we'll let him be.
It's the Polish zloty.
Polish who?
Zloty.
Roti.
Zloty. ZLOTY.
Oh, okay. Guys,
Zloty.
we are getting educated. There's a Polish. That thing that Clive said. Like, please put in the chat so that we can read it. Right.
Okay,
So
I'll do.
thank you. So that is government-owned money. I can't leave South Africa now and go to Poland and want to use rands. Clive, I'm sure you had to go through some foreign exchange in Tony, and to do that, you must give them your passport, tell them what you are doing there, how long you're gonna be there, Basale special. They want all that information. Let's read it. Let's see. Polish zloty. Okay, so we just know the British pound. We know the US dollar. Now we know the Polish zloty, right? So those are currencies owned by governments. And one of the biggest issues with these currencies, fiat currencies, is that they are controlled by the governments, and these governments, they can print money when they wish. And you know what happens when they print money? It devalues the currency. What does that mean? It means the currency loses buying power. What does that mean? You feel it in your pocket. When they print more money, inflation goes up, taxi fares goes up, food goes up, you feel it in your pocket. And so there was a need for a new form of money. What we have seen is that every 50 years, the way we exchange value seems to change. So now we are in a time where there is a need for the new form of money. And this was born in 2009 in the form of Bitcoin. So because our fiat currency, government-owned money, loses value over time, what happened was in 2008, there was a great economic meltdown. People lost a lot of money. And a lot of it was sparked by the bad decisions made by financial institutions who gave people money who could not afford it and they couldn't pay it back for the property market, and the property market dropped and people lost money. It was hectic. And then it was like, no, we need to get our power back. How do we control this? How do we get into a monetary system that will allow us as people to be in control, where people will not just print money because they feel like it? You know what happened in Zimbabwe? The Zim dollar is no more, purely because of the economic turmoil, the political turmoil, the decisions made in the country. Now the Zim dollar is no more. And do you know what happened to people in Zim who were wealthy? When that currency is devalued, contrary to what people are thinking, when I was introduced to cryptocurrency in 2017, and I would talk to people about cryptocurrency, they would say to me, hi, but Maggie, I am very uncomfortable about this thing. And I say, why? No, it's not owned by any government. It's not backed by the government. And I said, how does the backing of the government serve you as Max? How does it serve you as Mvuselelo? At least I know. At least you know what. And people who are multi-millionaires. I mean, when I got clever about exchange rates and stuff, the rate of the Zim dollar to the rand was 1 to 3, which means that if you had 6 million Zim dollars and brought them to South Africa and exchanged them for rands, you would actually, firstly, you would be able to exchange them for rands, and you would get 2 million Zim dollars. So South African rands, which means you would still be a multi-millionaire. Although it's 2 million, but it's still multi, right? It's more than 1 million, right? So you still have your millions. Then, so it was a good currency. Now it does not exist. Hyperinflation took over. Hyperinflation reduces the money to naught. Now imagine if you were there, Esmakaleng, you were sitting there in Zim, you had your 6 million Zim dollars, and the currency crashes, the Zim dollar disappears. Do you think the government is going to say, oh, but Smakaleng had 6 million Zim dollars? Let us give Smakaleng the equivalence in US dollar. No, your money is gone. Your wealth is gone. That is what fiat currency does for us. Hence, there was a need to say, can we find a currency that is going to allow us to be able to use to have control? And Bitcoin was born under the umbrella of cryptocurrency. Crypto means encrypted currency, secure money, secret money. So Bitcoin comes under that umbrella. It was the first cryptocurrency, which was born in 2008. It was born to be a payment system to allow us to exchange value without the middleman. Do you remember the story of exchanging without the middleman? You remember Diego and Evelyn exchanging without the middleman? That's exactly it. Bitcoin has sort of taken us back to the barter system, except now it is the modern barter system. It is modern because we don't have to be in close proximity. It's now done online. It's digital. We say that the earth is flat now because we can do business everywhere, anytime, with anybody. I can send Clive Bitcoin now in Poland. Before we finish this session, he would have received it. That is the power of cryptocurrency. And because there's no middleman, these banks, these exchange platforms, they are the ones that delay the transactions. Not only do they delay them, they also make them expensive because we pay for the additional services that the middleman offers. Cryptocurrency says, no. We can have special money that is highly secure, secured by mathematics in cryptography, with a framework that is built ahead of time and connected into the blockchain, which is an immutable technology. Once transactions are connected and are committed on there, they cannot change, which makes it highly secure. The system was introduced in a white paper by a guy called Satoshi Nakamoto in 2008, and it was realized and developed in 2009 when the first Bitcoin was mined. We call the first Bitcoin that was mined, we call it the Genesis coin. That's the first one. And when that coin was mined, it was recorded on the blockchain because the blockchain keeps track of all the Bitcoin transactions. It keeps track of who owns what. And as the coin exchanges hands, it updates the record. And the blockchain is a system that is connected by a lot of computers owned by a whole lot of people everywhere in the world. We've got people in Poland, we've got people in South Africa, in Zambia, in the US, in New Zealand, in China, in Kazakhstan, that own mining machines connected to the blockchain to do what? To confirm transactions, to verify transactions, so that we don't need banks to do that anymore for us, but we trusting ourselves because mathematics has been used, programming has been used, programs have been written and committed to the blockchain. The framework already defines how many coins will be produced, only 21 million Bitcoins. It has already defined how often they are going to be issued, every 10 minutes. It has defined how many will be issued in those 10 minutes. As I talk to you, 6.25 Bitcoins are produced every 10 minutes. 12 years ago when it was launched, 50 coins were launched every 10 minutes, and it goes down every 4 years with what we call Bitcoin halving. Lovely story, interesting story. But what interests us most is that parameter that says it is deflationary in character. That is what has caught us. We know that our money loses value over time. But when it comes to crypto, it seems to be appreciating in value over time. Let's take Osmakaleng. Let's say Osmakaleng is a mom and she's got a daughter who's 10, right? And as Osmakaleng is driving around Waterfall in Midrand, she sees a beautiful apartment. Oh, wow, I'd love to get this for my daughter. But she's still young. Why don't I take and she goes in though, she finds out, they say, oh, this 3-bedroom apartment, 3 beds, 2 baths, dining, lounge, it's about R1 million. And she's thinking, wow, what a bargain. So I want my daughter to have something like this. But what I'm going to do is I am going to put $1 million aside. They said it was 1 million. I'm going to save my $1 million because I wanted to be able to buy it for herself. She must just choose the unit that she wants, let me give her that. So she puts away $1 million. 11 years later, 11 years later, her daughter is 21, 11 years later, and she says, oh, my baby, for your 21st, guess what? I put away R1 million for you. It is ready for you to go buy an apartment in Waterfall, 3 beds, 2 baths, lounge, dining. And her daughter looks at her and says, Mama, 1 million. Yes, my baby, I saw it. When I checked it 10 years ago, it was $1 million. Mama, now, 11 years later, 1 million will get you a 1-bedroom apartment. Why? Because our money loses value over time. But I'm going to show you in the next slide what Bitcoin has done, which has made people turn into multimillionaires. Ordinary people like you and me, who were not trust fund babies, who did not inherit lots of money, suddenly found themselves in a lot of money because of cryptocurrency. Early adopters of cryptocurrency, of Bitcoin, became multimillionaires. But it is still early days. You have not missed an opportunity yet. Right. So then I introduced Bitcoin Vault and Electric Cash. So now, what I want you to be well aware of, one thing you must take out of this class is that every cryptocurrency that is introduced to you must be solving a particular problem. There is a problem that is being solved, and the solution is provided through a cryptocurrency. So a blockchain solution is provided for that problem, and a cryptocurrency coin or token is produced to represent that solution. So Bitcoin Vault, and all that would be recorded in the white paper. A lot of times you'll see people will give you the white paper, they will tell you what the problem was, they will tell you what solution it is solving, and you'll find in many cases, it ends there. My friends, be careful of that. Just because there's a white paper does not make the cryptocurrency real. What is in the white paper has to be translated into computer programs, into code. By the way, I'm a programmer, so I know these things, right? You must take this thing and put it into code. The code will also determine how the coin is mined, how many times it's mined, put in the security required, and most of them, the code is public. You should be able to see what is happening. What is the development pattern? If you go to GitHub, where the code, most credible cryptocurrencies will publish their code there and make it open source. If you go in there and you start looking to say, okay, I was introduced to Coin Maggie. Okay, let me see. Maggie showed us the white paper that her coin is solving this problem. Oh, it looks so good. I love it. But before you put your money in, go to GitHub and see what has she developed. And most importantly, when I buy Coin Maggie, I should be able to convert Coin Maggie back to my local currency, because not everybody accepts Coin Maggie. So ask the right questions. When people give you new coins in crypto, ask the right questions. It is your responsibility. It is your money. So I showed you that with 2 cryptocurrencies so that you know how to make up your mind whether you want in or out. Bitcoin Vault. The problem was that with Bitcoin, a guy called El Avramovich, he is actually the brains behind these 2 coins, Electric Cash and Bitcoin Vault. This guy is a serial inventor. He's a techno junkie, and he has produced he has new innovations that he has sold to big companies, right? Now, he's actually busy building an electric car right now after his last invention was a smartphone with 2 screens. Now, he was into cryptocurrency and he's got mining farms that mine Bitcoin. Loves Bitcoin, but he says, you know what? There is something in Bitcoin that could be changed. We could add more to Bitcoin so that people have got more security, they can relate more, have more, what do you call this? Peace, trust in this coin, right? So now he said, if there was another layer of security, people will probably adopt Bitcoin easier. And those who are institutional investors wanting to put in a lot of money, there's something that is probably holding them back. The fact that you can't reverse transactions. If you make a mistake with anything in crypto, you are not, once it's committed on the blockchain, because the blockchain by design is immutable. It is purposefully done so that you cannot change transactions. That is what makes the blockchain secure. That is why governments are looking at using the blockchain technology for voting. That is why they are looking for using the blockchain technology to manage their home offices, their home affairs offices, to keep records that cannot be tampered with. That is what the Bitcoin is designed to do. But Ian looks at this, and because of that design, it is a bit difficult, even when you see somebody if somebody managed to get hold of your private keys and got into your wallet, they could take your funds and you cannot do anything about it. And he said, surely we could build something that could prevent that. That's when he built a Bitcoin Vault. Wrote the white paper, put together a team of developers, and the solution was developed. The solution says it gives you 3 keys that allows you that if you are sitting here, as I'm talking to you, and suddenly I see a transaction coming through my account, I can react. I can do something about this. I can cancel the transaction and get my money back. And then I ask myself, but would that solution hold water? If we look 10 years from now, would there be adoption of that? Would there be demand of that technology? And I just got thinking a bit when I was thinking about Ethereum being a platform to build smart contracts, and then I heard that Bitcoin Vault has now got a wrapped Bitcoin Vault, which is wrapped by a Binance Smart Chain, and I thought, you know what? That could mean that in the future you could have applications built on Bitcoin Vault. And then I thought about that, and I said, imagine if the banking system started adopting that wrapped Bitcoin Vault and built applications on top of that. Now imagine this scenario. Imagine you are sitting in this session, right? You are here in this session, you are listening to us, and then suddenly you've got 50,000 rands in your bank account, and boom, the 15,000, as you are sitting, you get a notification from your bank, says 50,000 rands you have just withdrawn 50,000 rands, and you're thinking, I did not. What are you gonna do? The first thing you want to do, you are in panic mode because tomorrow you wanted to put in deposit for your car or whatever it was. Now you're thinking, my 50,000 rands, you phone your bank immediately. And it's Sunday night, so you're probably going to get some automated machine. Or if you're lucky, you do get a call center agent, maybe your bank works 24 hours, 24/7. Then they say to you, oh, we hear you, sir. What? Oh, you say you didn't make the transaction. You know what, Mr. Buthelezi? We are going to close your account, block your account to any further withdrawals, but and then we will refer your matter to our fraud department. Mr. Buthelezi, that is all you are going to hear. It does not help you with the money you wanted to go and withdraw tomorrow for your deposit, right? Tomorrow morning, now, Mr. Buthelezi, now you are there. You are the one now making the calls. I'm just following up the fraud department. My money was taken out of my account. What happens? They're going to say to you, oh, Mr. Buthelezi, we want to investigate. When they're investigating, they are actually investigating to see if you were not negligent, So, and you are there stranded, and this investigation may take a week, 2 weeks, and they may come back to you and say, sorry, we can't help you. Your money's gone. But imagine this. Imagine if things had evolved so much with the technology of Bitcoin Vault. I could just imagine this, seeing my bank build a platform, an application on top of Bitcoin Vault. Now they've gone all techno crazy, and Now we are sitting in here again in Vuselelo. You hear tweet. They have put their application on Bitcoin Vault, wrapped Bitcoin Vault, and then you say, who is doing what with my account? No. Right? That's not me. Because Bitcoin Vault has got that functionality, you invoke the key that says cancel that transaction. When you cancel the transaction, you give it an account to say which wallet must that money go back to, and voila, your money comes back to your account. You did not have to call anybody. You did not have to wait for anybody. Immediately. So I think about such things and I think, wow, that is powerful. And I think if in 5 years' time, in 10 years' time, that could happen, this could take Bitcoin Vault to the heights beyond what Bitcoin is. That is Maggie thinking. Once I think like that, I think I need to own some of this thing. Why am I saying that? Because I understand that early adopters of Bitcoin, when they bought Bitcoin in its infancy, today they are multimillionaires. In less than 12 years, they are multimillionaires. How long have you been working for? Or how long have your parents been working for? And what do they have to show for it? So then I would say, you know what? This is a store of value. I'm going to put my money in here. A store of value means that you are putting your money in an asset with the hope that in the future, you can exchange that asset back to your local currency and get the same amount or more. But in Bitcoin Vault, we are looking to get more. So that is Bitcoin Vault. Then electric cash. Every crypto, by the way, guys, these cryptos are not there to compete with each other. When I tell people about Bitcoin Vault, they say, no, it's better than Bitcoin. I want Bitcoin Vault. No, it complements Bitcoin. It is adding on to where Bitcoin is lacking, but Bitcoin is still a powerful cryptocurrency and it has stood the test of time as well. But it cannot be everything. That is why we find different solutions. So you are going to have yourself a portfolio of cryptocurrencies. You are going to own Bitcoin, Bitcoin Vault, Electric Cash, Ethereum, Ripple, Litecoin, Zcash. You are going to own all these, Monero, you name it, because you understand that it is a portfolio, but you are going to understand the fundamentals behind each one of them as you are building your portfolio for wealth creation. Okay, Electric Cash was built to be a transactional coin. When Bitcoin was built, it was supposed to be a payment system, which means I could go to the bank, to a shop and pay with Bitcoin. It's meant to be a payment system. But when people saw this deflationary character and that they could make a lot of money, sorry, something on my screen, they could make a lot of money out of it, they started holding on to it. Another thing kicked in, the transaction fees for Bitcoin. Yes, even though it may be cheaper with Bitcoin than our fiat currency, but for certain things, it would not make sense for you to transact with Bitcoin because of the fees. And the speed, it takes about 10 minutes for transactions to happen with Bitcoin. Bitcoin Vault, some is 10 minutes, some is 24 hours. So now there's still a need for a transactional cryptocurrency that I can leave here and go to Poland and go to the UK and go anywhere with this cash and just start using it. That is what the aim of Electric Cash is. And to do that, for something to pass as a transactional coin, it must give quick transactions. I can't be, imagine now, Tieho is there now, he's all that, and he's a globetrotter. And he is traveling the world. He is at OR International every now and then. Now he's going to Dubai. Now he's going to Disney World. He's doing all these things, right? Imagine now him being him, wanting to now try, and now he's big in crypto. He's got all his money in Bitcoin. Imagine he had Bitcoin. He gets to OR International, checks in, and he says, you know what? Let me just have a cup of coffee. And then he wants to pay for coffee with Bitcoin. Bitcoin takes 10 minutes. The queue's going to be long. They're going to be calling you via the intercom and saying the boarding gates are closing. You don't want that, right? And again, the transaction fees for Bitcoin at the moment, they're about $14. About 200 rands or so, just over 200 rands. So now, imagine now paying for coffee that is worth 33 rands, and then the fees are 200 rands. Doesn't make sense, right? So, but if you're buying a house with Pam Golding, if you're accepting Bitcoin, or Remix, or whoever you're buying with, and they say you can pay with Bitcoin and your transaction fees are only $14, great deal. So in that day-to-day use, you want a cheaper cryptocurrency. That's where electric cash comes in. The transaction fees are very low. You could actually end up paying 0 transaction fees, and it is fast transactions. How do you get, when I tell people about you can get 0 transaction fees, people say, Maggie, there's nothing for Mahala. What is the catch? So there is a catch. The catch is in that incentivized staking program. We didn't do this yesterday. It was part of our session yesterday. Staking is a process where you lock in your coins for a certain period without using them. You lock them in. Think about your fixed deposit. We've got a product in South Africa, a banking product that you could go and say, I want to open a fixed deposit account. You give the bank a certain amount of money and say, I am locking it in. I'm fixing it for 6 months or for a year or for 2 years, whatever it is. And normally the bank would give you a better interest rate based on how long you keep your money with them for. Why would the bank do that? Because it works in their favor for you to keep your money in the bank for longer. Because the banks take your money and borrow it to other people. So the longer you keep it there, the better it works for the bank. And they incentivize you by giving you slightly higher interest rates. Now, in the crypto space, staking is similar to that. You're saying, I've got this electric cash, but I'm not going to use it for now. So I'm going to stake it. And they incentivize you to do that. Why would you want to do it? Because they are going to give you extra coins. And you want to have extra crypto, especially if you didn't buy it yourself. You want extra. They'll give you extra crypto, and they also give you what is called electric gas. And that gas is what is going to pay for your transaction fees. So it will work in your favor. Depending on how long you stake for, you will get incentivized better. And one of the staking incentives as well is governing power. When they have any developments that they want to do on the project of electric cash, you've got a say. You can vote in. You can decide the fate of this currency. You can vote. I mean, with Bitcoin, you can't do that. That is why guys like El Avramovich had to develop their own coin, because the project community does not allow for you to have a say in where the project is going. But electric cash incentivizes you and says you also have those governing powers. So now electric cash has got its own mandate, which it is going to fulfill. It was only introduced this year. Bitcoin Vault was introduced in 2019. So they're still fairly new. And electric cash was introduced in February this year. Remember what I said about early adopters of Bitcoin. Do not miss opportunities. Okay, so when you get introduced to a new cryptocurrency, put on your thinking cap, ask for the white paper. They'll show you their website. Go look at the white paper. Does it make sense for you? Do you think this cryptocurrency will take on or will take off, will have adoption? And when it does get adopted, because these three actually that are here, they are limited in the number of coins that will ever exist, 21 million. That is that means that they are scarce. There is scarcity introduced into the equation. And that scarcity, because these are global currencies, work in your favor, because when they are adopted and adoption increases, it means there is demand for the coin. When there's demand for the coin, but there is scarcity, the value of the coin is going to go up. And that is what drives the value of Bitcoin and other similar cryptocurrencies. Supply and demand. Okay, because there is a limited amount. They are only released a little bit every 10 minutes. As they do that, limiting the supply, adoption is increasing, which means demand is increasing. And as that happens, the value also goes up. Do we have any questions? So that is what we covered with the basics of cryptocurrency. So know that cryptocurrency is money. So the thing that interests people the most about crypto is the fact that people are making money out of cryptocurrency. Now you need to understand how this money is made, and you need to understand a couple of things that will save you from losing your money. Okay, so I'm going to highlight those with the 3 graphs for Bitcoin, Bitcoin Vault, and electric cash. With each one of these graphs, I'll just mention something that you need to be considering when you get into the space. Let's look at Bitcoin and how people made money. Okay, in 2010, one Bitcoin was R1.40. R1.40. Okay, which means that if you had 140 rands, you could get 100 Bitcoins. BTC stands for Bitcoin. Because to do that, I took 140. So let me just welcome everybody here. Hi, Mandla, I see you. Matemba, I see you. These are the guys who are on YouTube. Okay, I see you guys. So now, to get to this 100 coins, I took 140 rands and I divided it by the price of Bitcoin at that time, right? So now I got it. 140 rands. I think in 2010, that would have gotten you maybe 4 vuvuzelas or something, ne? Because we were celebrating the Soccer World Cup. Now I bought vuvuzelas for everybody in my family. I probably spent 140 rands. If I knew about Bitcoin, I could have gotten myself 100 Bitcoins, right? Now, 100 Bitcoins, let's go to 2012, 3 years later, 1, 2, 3 years later. Those 100 Bitcoins, when one Bitcoin is 195 rands, they are worth 19,000 rands. Remember, they were bought for 140 rands. Okay, let's go to 2013. When one Bitcoin is now 9,000 rands, 100 Bitcoins are now 900,000 rands. That is 1, 2, 3, 4 years later. You spent R1.40. But you see here, 2014, it dropped. 100 Bitcoins, now one Bitcoin is 4,900, multiplied by your 100 Bitcoins is 490,000 rands. Let's fast forward to 2017. One Bitcoin is now 300,000 rands. You've got 100 Bitcoins that you bought for R1.40. Let's look at what happens. When one Bitcoin is worth 300,000 rands, 100 Bitcoins are worth 30 million rands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 years later, 140 rands has grown to 30 million rands. That is how people became multimillionaires. But a lot of people did not know about Bitcoin then, but a lot of people got to know about Bitcoin here. And they bought a whole lot of Bitcoins that when it got here, they became multimillionaires. I knew about Bitcoin in 2017. When I knew about it in October of 2017, one Bitcoin was about between 63 and 67,000 rands. December of 2017, one Bitcoin hits 300,000 rands. Now I'm connected in the Bitcoin community. The people around me in my Bitcoin cryptocurrency community are now saying, this is a year of title deeds. You know what they were doing? They were buying property cash and getting their title deeds. Because suddenly they were multi-millionaires. Now we get what else, Evelyn, everybody saying, yeah, of title deeds. And she hears about it here. And she says, yeah, of title deeds. I'm going to join as well. I'm going to join. And she joins here. She says, I'm going to buy Bitcoin. And she goes and puts 100,000 rands or 150,000, buys half a Bitcoin. And she's got 150. And then those who said they're of title deeds start selling their coins to buy their property. Remember, to cash out of Bitcoin, you must sell your coin. So now they are selling. When they sell, the value drops. In any market, when you've got more sellers than you do buyers, the value of that particular thing drops. The price drops. Easy example, go to Mpumalanga or something where you've got all those mamas selling bananas All of them, but that, one after the other. Go to the first one and say, can I have a bunch of bananas? And they say to you, it's 50 rands. And you say, let me try next door. I'll give it to you for 25. I said, I know it's too expensive. I'm going to try that. I think I started there, and that lady said 10 rand. She's going to say to you, let me give you for 10 rand. Because there are people who are selling, but the buyers are few. When there are more sellers, I negotiate my price. And now the bananas that started with 50 rands, I now bought them for 10 rands. Now the price of banana is now 10 rand. That's how the markets work, okay? It works the same with crypto. It works the same with shares. It works the same with property. When you've got more buyers than sellers. Sorry, more sellers than buyers. More sellers than buyers. The value drops. And at any point in time when you've got more buyers now, people buying than there are sellers, it means the thing is scarce, the price goes up. And then now, as Evelyn here, saw people selling, they're buying their houses, they've made their money. You just came and bought Bitcoin now, but because you don't trust this Bitcoin, you still have doubts. And you're saying, you see your money now is no longer 150. It's now 100,000. And you're thinking, before I lose this entire, let me sell. And then you sell your coin at 100, and then you now get 100,000 out. You put in 150, then you say, Bitcoin ate my money. Bitcoin is a scam. Oh, you will lose money. You simply lost money because you made the wrong decision. You should not have been selling. Those who were selling had made their money, but you sold at a panic. We call those panic sellers. The panic sellers feed into the frenzy of the price going down because we have more and more sellers as panic sellers are also selling and their value drops. Those who held onto their coins, it took Bitcoin 3 years to recover. 3 years. So the moral of the story, don't come into this space saying, I want to make money quickly. There are no guarantees in terms of when you are going to make your money. Yes, we are seeing the appreciation over time. The graph is an upward graph, but it wasn't always like that. It goes, but the trend is an upward trend, but it keeps going, So what you need to be aware of, when somebody says to you, I am going to mine on your behalf or trade on your behalf, and I guarantee you are going to make so much by the end of this week. You can see there are no guarantees in the space. You don't know how much it's going to be tomorrow. One Bitcoin last week was about 825,000. Yesterday, it was 925,000. Let's check today. As I'm talking to you now, it's 913,000. Yesterday it was 920. Oh, it even went as high as 936. Now it's sitting at 913. The same with our rand. When you grade it against the dollar, the pound, it never stays the same. That's why every news bulletin, every 30 minutes, they tell us the value of the rand to the dollar. It's always changing. But now, when it comes to crypto, people want you to give them guarantees. And people will give you guarantees, and you are going to lose your money. Right, so now imagine now, if us Evelyn had held on to her money for just about 4 more years, that 150,000, how much would it have grown when one Bitcoin was suddenly almost 1 million rands? 960,000 rands. It all comes with you believing in the cryptocurrency you have put your money in and making the right decisions to buy or sell. HODL. HODLing is HODL. When you say you are buying and holding, you say buy them. Forget about, say I'm going to HODL for a year, for 3 months, for 6 months, and just I'll check then. Then you don't worry about, is it down today? Is it up tomorrow? You just HODL and relax. And over time, that has proved to work for a lot of people. Okay, so the same story with Bitcoin Vault. But when we come to Bitcoin Vault, I want us to look at it in a different view. I want us to take a year-on-year approach. It's actually gone even lower now, but we'll talk about that just now. Year-on-year approach, okay? When you go and say, I want to put my money in unit trusts or ETFs, whatever instrument you want to use, you call your financial advisor, you sit down, he shows you their portfolio, and he says, these are managed portfolios, and for the balanced portfolio, and for this, they show you all these different things, right? And then they say to you, let's show you the projections, because we always want to know what is it going to do, how is it going to perform. They say, let's show you the projections. They say, based on past performance, this is what we project with this percentage of inflation. And they will tell you, past performance does not guarantee future performance. Okay? And they will say to you, annually, year on year, this is what it's going to look like. And we are happy with that, even though they said it is not guaranteed. Come to cryptocurrency. Maggie, if I buy Bitcoin Vault today, I want to know what I am going to make in 7 days. You never asked your financial advisor about 7 days. Maggie, I want guarantees. How guarantee? When I say it's not guaranteed, I am out. You never asked your financial advisor for guarantees. They even told you upfront that past performance does not guarantee future performance. And you are poof. When it comes to the crypto space, because a lot of people have made a lot of money because this industry is super volatile and it moves, with high peaks and troughs, right? You want guarantees. Now I'm saying, let's take a year-on-year view for Bitcoin Vault, March 2020 to March 2021. Look at this. It was a nice ride. It went, hit that, and dropped badly. Huge loss. Though when it was launched, it was like 18 Rand for one coin in December of 2019. 18 Rand. So if you're taking 1,800 Rands, you'd have gotten yourself 100 Bitcoin Vaults. In December of 2019, August of 2020, your 100 Bitcoin Vaults would have been worth 850,000 Rands. Crazy. Now, back to the scenario that we saw with Bitcoin. People made a lot of money. They did not spend 1,800 Rands. They spent hundreds and thousands of Rands buying Bitcoin Vault. It did so well. The demand for Bitcoin Vault was crazy. It did so well. Now they found themselves in August of 2020 being multimillionaires. What do? Sell their coins. And then you get the panic sellers. Boom, 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 boom. So the point is that the graphs look the same for these cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin Vault took off much quicker than Bitcoin. When the whales sold, a whale is anybody who owns more than 1,000 coins. When the whales sold their coins, the market dropped. Bitcoin Vault is still struggling to go up because those who are holding on, they still sell. As I'm talking to you now, one Bitcoin Vault is about, when I checked last week, it's about 110 Rands. Are you seeing an opportunity for you to buy? It's lower than this. Are you seeing an opportunity to buy to see where it is going to be in a year's time and how much money you would have made in a year's time? Those who held on from March of 2019 to March of 2020 to March of 2021, they saw an increase of 218%. This is now a good buy for those who want to own some of this digital asset. Electric Cash, the story is not going to change, but I want to highlight to you that in its infancy, it already saw in its first 5 months an increase of 69%. Now it is the buyer's market. This price has dropped. I'm not sure how much it is, but it is less than 300 Rands for one Electric Cash coin. It is a buyer's market. It is your opportunity as long as you believe in the fundamentals behind the cryptocurrency. Okay. Any questions? So the moral of the story for you is that you need to be collecting these coins. Collect as many coins as you can. First, understand the white paper, understand the solution. Do you buy into it? Do you see a future in it? Buy and hold. Hodl. Don't stress about when you're hodling. Just say, I've got people that are hodling, they bought and said, I bought last month and the Bitcoin bought went down. I said, yeah, buy some more. If it goes down, buy some more. I do that. I buy some more because then I'm getting it cheaper. I've actually said to myself, every single month, I'm going to buy Bitcoin Vault worth 1,000 rands because I believe in the technology. And I'm looking forward to the day when it's going to boom. So that is just my tip. But remember, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just telling you what I'm doing. All right. So having said that, one thing that I want to show you guys, let me just share this again. Let me just share this again. Do you have any questions so far? No questions. Okay. So, when you get into the cryptocurrency space, there's a lot of people who say, Maggie, can I withdraw? Once I got this thing, can I withdraw? Absolutely, you can withdraw. Nothing stops you from withdrawing. But I want you to come into the cryptocurrency space with a plan of what you want to do. I want us to start seeing this as our key to total financial freedom, to be like those people who are now multimillionaires. So I want us to take advantage of this. So when you're talking about withdrawing, I want you to understand what you are saying. Okay, let's take this example. Let's say you've got 10,000 rands, right? And then you say, I want to buy a Bitcoin. And let's say the price of one Bitcoin, I'm just going to use easy numbers. Let's say one Bitcoin is 1,000 rands. Okay? And you've got 10,000 rands. One BTC is 1,000 rands. So if you've got 10,000 rands, you can get 10 Bitcoins, right? All good. So what's going to happen is that either the price of Bitcoin, of one Bitcoin, is going to go up or it's going to go down. So with 10 Bitcoins, it's going to go up, or the number of Bitcoins will stay the same, right? But if you go up or down, how much they are worth, will keep going up and down depending on the price of one Bitcoin. You bought at 10,000. So let's say a couple of months, a couple of weeks, whatever, the price of Bitcoin goes up and it's now 2,000 rands for one Bitcoin. Let's say you bought your Bitcoins in an exchange called Luno. You go into Luno, wow, it still says 10 BTC because you didn't buy more. It still says 10 BTC, but it doesn't say 10,000 anymore. What you are seeing there is 20,000 rands because one of them is worth 2,000 rands. And you're saying, Maggie, can I withdraw? And I say, yes, you can withdraw. But withdrawing means that you must sell your coins. You must sell your asset. And you say, oh, okay, I want to withdraw 10,000 rands. Okay, so if you want to withdraw 10,000 rands, you must sell 5 coins. Okay, I'm going to sell 5 coins. You sell 5 coins. Now you are left with 5. You have banked in your money bag. You now have 10,000 rands. This is now sitting safely in your bank. Now in your Luno, on the other hand, you've got 5 Bitcoin, and because the value is 2,000, they are worth 10,000 rands. It only changed and dropped to 5 because you took action. You sold coins. Now, the value of one Bitcoin drops again. and it goes down to 500 rands for one coin. And you're thinking, sure, hey, you go to Luno, you said, oh, I've got 10,000 rands. No, you had 5 Bitcoin. You didn't have 10,000 rands, you had 5 Bitcoins. And you still have 5 Bitcoins. But because the price has dropped, when you go and check in your Luno, you still have 5 Bitcoins, but it says underneath your 5 Bitcoins, 2,500. Of course, 1 Bitcoin is now 500 rands. You decide at that time, let me hold on. Or you're saying, yo, before it gets to 0, let me, so you always have to be making your own mind up. Let's say you hold on and you say, no, man, I wanted to go up to 10,000 again. I'm going to hold on until it gets there. So you hold on. One day, the value of Bitcoin, whether it's a year, 2 years, 3 years, however long, is now 2,000 again. You go in there. Wow, my 5 Bitcoins are actually worth 10,000 rands. And you say, Maggie, I want to withdraw 5,000. It still says 5 Bitcoins. You say, Maggie, I want to withdraw 5,000. So it means you must sell. When you're saying withdraw, you are selling your coins. So you sell them. And now you've got 2.5 Bitcoins left. And you are banking another 5,000 rands. And you are sitting in there. Now it says your 2.5 are worth 5,000 rands. One day you said, I need 5,000 rands. I said, you can withdraw. You said, to withdraw, I must sell. Now you've got 0. What I'm trying to illustrate to you is that every time you withdraw, as long as you are not putting more money in, as long as you are not adding to the number of Bitcoins, you are going to withdraw to a point where you don't have any coins left. You would have made your money. You withdrew again, right? You would have made your money. But understand that that money is not going to last forever. That 10,000 rands is likely not going to make, especially if you keep withdrawing and withdrawing, you're not hodling for long. So just watch this next video. If you can hear the sound, please just nod. The more cryptocurrency coins you have, the more money you will have, value goes up. So you are better positioned if you can collect more and more and more cryptocurrency coins. Then use them to do life. Pay off your debt, go on holiday, buy your dream car, buy your dream house. And without having to spend more money from your own pocket, get more cryptocurrency coins and get more cryptocurrency coins and get more cryptocurrency coins. And the value goes up again, you have more money. That is how real wealth is created. That is how you should create wealth. That is how many people are creating their wealth. And you are better positioned if you join them. The more cryptocurrency coins you have. So the moral of the story is that there is money to be made in crypto. But if you want financial freedom, you are better positioned if you have a system, because I know that a lot of us in here, we want to make money, but we are probably restricted in our budget of how much money we can make. So when you've got money, you want your money to extend, because as much as we put money in, we want to be living off this crypto as well. So you want to be in a position or in an opportunity that will allow you to keep adding more and more and more cryptocurrencies to your portfolio without you necessarily spending more money. When we were in the training, I spoke about different ways of making money, of collecting cryptocurrency. The money is in collecting the currency. If you don't own these coins, when the value goes up, it means nothing to you. So the money is made in you owning these coins. So what is available to us is buying and holding. There is trading. There is mining. So I told you about a company called Mining City. I personally mine with Mining City. I can mine with any company I want to mine with. But I chose Mining City precisely because of their opportunity for me to accumulate more coins without me spending more money, which is what is for me going to put me in a bracket of those who are financially free through cryptocurrencies. So there is different ways that you can tap into. If you want to talk to me more about that one, you can talk to me more about that one out of this classroom. Okay, so now we've come to the end of the session. If you want us to continue, by the way, you are free to ask me questions anytime, even beyond the training. I am availing myself for that. What I'm going to ask you to do is just send me a message and say to me, Megs, can we keep in touch? Can I ask you questions? Can you do? And I would gladly do that. Send me a message, and then so that I can keep you on my database of people that I must keep connected with. I will share information with you. I will share the further training sessions that I have with you. So I will keep you on my database as the person I must continue with. So you will be on my database if you send me that message. And then give me a brief description of where you are and what you would like to get out of this mentorship, because what I do then is we can think about how to get you started based on where you are, what you should be looking out for, and all that. Okay, and then you can also join. I'll give you a link to my Facebook group, and then you join that Facebook group just to stay connected with what's happening in the crypto space. And then I will help you to start your own cryptocurrency profile, because you can do this yourself. Okay, you can go in and buy cryptocurrency from tomorrow if you wanted to, So then we'll get into that once you send me that message. Okay, and that brings us to the end of our session. And I said to you guys, we are going to be doing our certificates. So we are going to be doing that. We'll go through them and celebrate with those who are also in YouTube. And you guys, when you see your name, make a noise in YouTube, send some nice emojis there, and celebrate the African way. My kids, when they are at school and there is prize giving, I make a noise like an African mom. So when they call out their names, Naka, Didieta, and then they'll say, Ish, Mama, you are embarrassing us. The day I keep quiet, they say, Mama, we're listening out for you. Why didn't you make that noise? So I'm expecting you guys to make that noise, okay? So let's get to that. It's exciting times. Enjoy this. Okay. Let me just share my screen. Make sure my sound is on. Please nod if you can hear.
Maggie.
Wow, sure. To the end of the session, it's normally a very emotional time anymore. But I really hope that you guys will keep in touch. I really applaud you guys. More than 70 people joined this class, okay? And some people dropped off. Don't just meet everyone. So more than 70 people joined. Actually, when we started, it was over 100 people. And then we got down to about 70 people. And in the class, we've got about 8 of you, and we've got about 6 more people on YouTube. I want to applaud you guys. You saw it through to the end, and that is one of the traits of successful people. You don't give up. You show up. You show how hungry you are. Les Brown says it's up to you. Every passing is another chance to turn it all around. You've got your chance. You can make money in crypto. Stay away from trying to make a quick buck, but apply your mind, learn as much as you can. There is money to be made. Stay connected. I will also connect you to a guy called Prof. Ed Pinza. There's new things happening in the crypto space. We've got DeFi now, decentralized finance. I'd like you guys to get into that as well, because absolutely cryptocurrency, I believe it has come to alleviate poverty. Let us change our mindset about how money is made. One day I'm going to be running sessions on a book called Think and Grow Rich, and I will invite you guys as well to come in, because we need to be transformed in our thinking on how money is made. And having said that, guys, I appreciate you. I wish you all the best. I wish to stay connected with you guys. Share the training. My quest is to get as many people educated on cryptocurrency as possible. I will share the link to the next class in our classroom, and I'll appreciate you sharing it with other people. Cryptocurrency is indeed that which is going to change our lives around. Thank you, and thank you, and thank you. We have come to the end. By the way, I will be sending your certificates to you individually via WhatsApp. So I am going to be sending them out tonight. I am sure I will be done by the end of this evening. Thank you so much. Do you guys have anything to close off, or are we done?
Thank you very much, Sis Maggie. We appreciate you.
Thank you, Osmagaling. Thank you so much. Deho, I can see you are dying to say something.
Well, I just wanted to say thank you. You really did educate us. Thank you so much.
Wow. It's my pleasure, Neo. Thank you, Evelyn, Max, Mr. Clive, thank you so much. And on YouTube, let me not forget you, Andrew, Matemba, Mandlenkosi, Lizzie, Beauty. Mandlenkosi said, wow, wonderful noise. Shout out to you, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you. Keep well. Your certificates are coming in your inboxes. Have a splendid evening and good night.